Yo, what's going on everyone? It is Sean and welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys are having a phenomenal day. Now as you can see by the title of this video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different from what we usually do. This is not going to be a pack opening or a gameplay. This is still going to be related to Madden Ultimate Team, but it's going to be sort of a reactions video, giving you my thoughts, opinions, likes and dislikes regarding a blog post by EA that was dropped last week in regards to abilities in Madden Ultimate Team. Now, I will link this blog post down below in the description for you guys so you can read it for yourself, even though we are just about to go over it here momentarily. But middle of last week, EA went ahead and dropped this blog post outlining and detailing the changes that are be coming to certain abilities and how the structure of abilities are going to be moving forward. Now, they did not say a specific date that this was going to happen, but it is going to happen probably within the next day or two, I would assume. But once again, they didn't have a concrete date set quite yet. Now, for those of you that watch the lineup update videos on a weekly basis on the channel, and shout out to you, by the way, if you do. You all are the real ones. You know just how important abilities are in this game. And these are pretty big changes that are going to be coming to the game, once again, at some point here this week. Now, I personally, myself, kind of saw these changes coming from a mile away because they just finished up the big club championship tournament. Well, they didn't really finish it up. It's actually only just beginning, but they've finished up about 80% of that tournament. And I kind of had a feeling deep down that they were going to be making some changes, and a lot of people have been requesting changes. A lot of the top players have been requesting a lot of changes. I myself want to see some things change, and we are darn sure going to be getting some changes to the way abilities are going to be structured moving forward. So without further ado, this is probably going to be a lengthy video, so sit back, relax, grab a drink, grab some food, do whatever you do necessary to get comfortable, because we are about to dive deep into this blog post momentarily. Woo! Alrighty, so here we are on the blog post, and once again, this will be linked down below in the description. And as you guys can see by the title, new abilities to be added and ability point changes in Madden Ultimate Team. And this was posted on Christmas Eve. Now, about a month to a month and a half ago, EA dropped a title update, which they tend to do a lot of. And they added these abilities that are outlined in this blog post to the game. Now, they only added them to the regular team mode. They did not add them to Madden Ultimate Team. Now, we don't really know the logistics behind that decision, but it is what it is. Now, new abilities, they are what they are, but I honestly don't give a rat's ass about the new abilities that are coming to Madden Ultimate Team. I really don't. None of them seem very appealing to me. None of them are just, like, to me, must-have, right? So I'm not going to really cover them. They're kind of confusing for those of you that don't really play Madden Ultimate Team and how you get them and all that stuff. So I'm going to graze over this part of the blog. Once again, you can read it for yourself. And we're going to go all the way down here to the good stuff, to the meat and potatoes, the crux of this video, the adjustments being made to the ability points. Now, once again, for those of you that watch the lineup update video on a weekly basis, you know that currently on offense and defense, you are able to get 10 ability points to be spread out however you want on both sides of the ball. You can put 10 ability points on one player. You can put 10 ability points on two players. Well, 5 and 5 each, or like 6-4, or 6-4, 3-7, whatever. You can do what I do and spread it around to pretty much everyone on your team, which a lot of people do, to give them the best competitive advantage. Well, now, the drastic change that is coming. And as you guys can see here on your screen, that limit of 10 will be raised to 12. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, that ain't nothing. That's not a big change, right? Well, to me, anyways, that is a pretty big change. Any change is big change in my eyes when it comes to this game. And now, with this change being made, I think the game is going to be played probably not too entirely different than it already is, but I have a feeling, I have a deep, deep feeling I know what the game is going to play like. I know what people are going to play like after this update goes live, but I will talk about that more here soon. So, 12 ability points is what we are going to be able to spend on offense and defense. Now, I think this is a really good number to change to. I think any more than this would have been a little bit too much when it comes to, overkill. If they would have done 15, 20, or 30 even, they would have had to compensate by changing a whole lot more than what they have. They honestly did not change a whole lot of the pricing of abilities. And I will go over all the changes that they made. They raised the ability point cost of some abilities, and they lowered it. So I think with it being 12, it's a cromulent number. It is a number it's a smooth number. I think it's nothing too drastic, and I don't think it's going to completely change how the way the game is going to be played. So, without further ado, let's get into the first ability that they went ahead and they changed, and that is the defensive ability, double or nothing. Now, this ability is far and away the best pass rushing ability in the game. And as you guys can see, they went ahead and raised it +1 ability points across all archetypes. So all defensive linemen and linebackers that are able to get this ability, double or nothing, it is now raised from what originally was 1 AP now to 2. In my eyes, this is a very, very fair change. I think this is more of a balancing change because a lot of people run double or nothing, myself included. I ran it before, or I still run it, in fact. I don't know if I'm going to be running it now with it being 2 AP because obviously having 2 of them now would be 4 AP out of your 12, and that's a third quick mass in the head there. And I just don't think that strategically for me that would be the right move. But this is definitely the right move for them to go ahead and make this change. I like this change. I don't think anyone has a big problem with it. A lot of people have been saying and requesting and asking and begging them to raise the ability point cost of it. And there you go. Ask and you shall receive. Double or nothing now is going to be 2 ability points. No complaints there. Now the next ability is Acrobat. Acrobat is probably my favorite ability in the game on defense. And it's a lot of people's favorite ability because it is so damn good. Now when I saw this change and I was just grazing through the arc, I'm like, oh no, they went ahead and they raised the cost of Acrobat, didn't they? Well, as you guys can read clearly, they only went ahead and they changed and they raised the ability point number +1 to all non-cornerbacks. So cornerbacks still get it for 1 AP, which is a huge, huge sigh of relief for me and a huge W in my opinion. But for safeties and linebackers and D linemen, which why would you put Acrobat on them? I don't know. It's now going to be 2. So for my user, which I use her as safety, I use her Sean Taylor, I think I might go with Lurker instead because Lurker is, I believe, 2 AP on Sean Taylor. I don't know off the top of my head. But if it isn't, then I'm still going to use Acrobat. Acrobat is very, very good on your user. So having it raised kind of hurts the soul a little bit for me, especially for safeties, because it's so good to have at the corners and safety position. I feel like it's absolutely must have. That's why I run it. That's why I have it on all my cornerbacks and safeties. But it's still going to be 1 AP on cornerbacks, which is awesome. I love that. So big fan of that change. Kind of hurts the soul a little bit. Nothing to complain about from that. Let me take a quick drink here. Refreshing. Moving on then to the third ability. Now this, in my opinion, I think this is the biggest change of this entire chain, of all these changes that are going to be made on either side of the ball. Escape Artist. And as you guys can read, decreased on Scrambler archetype quarterbacks by 1 AP. Now before, or currently still, it is 3 ability points for Escape Artist. And it's been 3 ability points for Escape Artist on Scramblers and Improvisers. And then I think Field Generals and Strong Arms, it's 4. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Now it is only 2 ability points to get Escape Artist. Now last Friday, or last actually Thursday, so last Christmas Eve, so the day this article came out, EA went ahead and dropped a Michael Vick. They dropped Michael Vick. Coincidentally, the week later, Escape Artist gets decreased by 1 AP on scrambling quarterbacks, and Michael Vick is a scrambling archetype quarterback. Starting to put 2 and 2 together here. I think this change was mostly made to get more Michael Vicks on the field. I don't know if that is exactly the reason why, but you can kind of tell. It's not really hard to decipher that change was made mostly to get Michael Vicks back on the field, because Michael Vick really has not been used hardly at all in this game, and that's kind of sad to say, especially in Madden. Michael Vick not being usable, and honestly, he hasn't. I used him for 1 game this whole year, and he sucked. But now, with this change and another change that's going to be shown here soon to a certain ability on offense, we're going to start seeing a lot more Michael Vick. So I need to definitely start getting used to putting QB spies on the field pretty much every single play. So, woohoo. So that, in my opinion, is the biggest change of all the changes being made, is that one right there, Escape Artist. All right, moving right along. Enforcer. Now, Enforcer is not as used as it was last year. It's not as impactful and as powerful as it was last year. They decreased it on all linebackers and cornerbacks by 1 AP, and they also decreased it now to just 1 AP on run-stopping middle and outside linebackers. It's cool. I might try it out for the first time this year, see how it is, and hopefully it will be somewhat good. I've heard some bad feedback on it, so yeah, we'll see. This next change isn't the most important change, no, but this is my favorite change they made. You guys know that I am a huge identifier fanboy. I have been on the identifier bandwagon this entire year. I've been on the identifier bandwagon for years. It honestly, first things first, it should not be an ability. It should just be in the game, but they just have to make everything pay to play, right? So, identifier. They went ahead and decreased identifier on field general quarterbacks, improviser quarterbacks, and all offensive lineman archetypes by 1 AP. Now, across the board, as we speak currently, identifier is 2 AP. As you guys know, I use it on my center. That is now going to be cut down from 2 to 1. Quick math. So I save ability points. So this is big for me. I am in love with this change. I know not a lot of people are, but this is amazing for me. I am in love with this change. This is my favorite change. Once again, it's not the most impactful change. It's not the biggest change, but I just love this change. Yes! It got me so excited when I saw this for the first time. I'm like, yes, identifier only 1 AP. It should have been only 1 AP the whole year, and now it finally is. So hats off to EA there. Big time fan of that. Get on the identifier train if you are not already. If you have not been in the last, however many weeks I've been making videos and spouting out at you guys, identifier is the move. Now you have no excuse not to put it on your field. So, moving right along. Threat Detector, which is very similar to identifier in a way, but they raised the ability point cost of it +1. Now, I don't have any issues with this. I know a lot of people that use it will, obviously. I personally, myself, was not a big fan of the threat detector. I honestly didn't think it was worth having it on my field. It's 2 ability points, which is a lot currently, and is going to be a lot in the changes that's going to happen. So I have no issues with this. Once again, a lot of people are, but I'm just not the biggest threat detector guy. That's just me. The next 2 here, or the next 3, aren't really ones that I care about too much. Jukebox, Spin Cycle, Evasive. These are all running back abilities, able to get better juke moves, spin moves, and then Evasive is both juke and spin moves, and now they decreased it. Jukebox, Spin Cycle, and Evasive, all by 1 AP on elusive halfbacks and deep threat wide receivers. So there you go. Now, this next ability, you can see right here at the bottom, Tight End Apprentice. This, I think, is the 3rd biggest change of all the changes that they're making. Now, the 2nd biggest is still to come. But they went ahead on Tight End Apprentice, and they decreased it on possession tight ends by 1 ability point. So now possession archetype tight ends get it for 1 AP. That is huge. Unfortunately for me, I use Darren Waller. He is not a possession archetype tight end. He's a vertical threat. So he is still going to be getting it for 2. But there is an individual who I have in my crosshairs who is a possession tight end. He's also a 49ers tight end. He goes by the name of George Kittle. That will get this ability, the best tight end ability, the only tight end ability you should be running for 1 AP. So that is big. That is an amazing change. I did not expect that whatsoever. I did not think they were going to change any of the apprentice abilities, but they went ahead and they did it. They did it. So possession tight ends will be the move. I think Chris Cooley, he's another very popular tight end. He's also possession tight end, so he's going to be seen a lot more. But I think we're going to go ahead and use Kittle. So tight end apprentice, huge W there. Secure tackler, which I use, but I use on my safeties. They decreased it on run stoppers, D tackles, and run stopper D ends by 1 ability point. So they didn't decrease it on safeties, but it is only 1 ability point on safeties, so I guess that wouldn't make any sense. So don't have much of an opinion on that. All right, human joystick. This was the craziest ability in all of Madden 20. It's 8 AP. That's how crazy and insane it is. It was 10, so if you wanted to run a human joystick, it would literally cost you all of your ability points. But now it's only 8. So now you can squeeze in 4 extra ability points, which I don't really understand the logic behind that. That doesn't really make any sense to me. Not a big fan of that change at all. Playmaker has just started to hit the MUT streets. It's a very, very good ability. As we speak, currently it is 2 AP. But as you can see, they pretty much nerfed the hell out of it by adding 2 more AP. It is now 4 AP across all archetypes. Yikes. Big yikes there. And they also nerfed the hell out of QB Playmaker as well. It is now going to be 7 AP, and improviser quarterbacks are the only quarterbacks that get it. Before it was 5 out of the 10, now it's going to be 7 out of 12. Yeah. So, Playmaker, QB Playmaker, I love them dearly. I used them a lot last year. Mostly QB Playmaker, though. Sadly, have been given the huge nerf in this game, which is unfortunate. And last but not least, the final ability they're changing is the best ability in the game on either side of the ball. It is the ability we have to use in order to pass the ball. Gunslinger. Gunslinger, Gunslinger, Gunslinger. There you can see they raised the ability to +1 on Strong Arm, Field General, and Scrambler quarterbacks. Now, the price of Gunslinger before this change was 1 AP on Strong Arms, 2 on Field Generals, and then 3 on both Improviser and Scramblers. But now, is going to be 2 on Strong Arms, 3 on Field General, and 4 on Improviser and Scrambler quarterbacks. This was probably the most requested change by most of the top players in the Madden community. They wanted to see Gunslinger get changed, get raised, especially on strong arm quarterbacks, because having it for 1 ability point is pretty insane. For those of you that know, I use Brett Favre. He only gets it for 1 AP. He is absolutely insane. I personally don't have an issue with the change, but I wish they didn't change it. I understand the reasoning. I understand people's frustrations with it right now, but with this change, I think it'll be a little bit more, I think it will be balanced. And I think that was what the main goal of this was for Gunslingers, to balance it a little bit. But here's why I think Michael Vick is going to be the best. So, let's do a little bit of math here, shall we? So we have 12 AP to spend, right? 12 AP. Michael Vick, before the update, got Escape Artist. He gets Escape Artist and Gunslinger for 6 out of 10 ability points, right? Because it's 3 for Gunslinger on Scramblers and 3 for Escape Artist on Scramblers. Now, with this change, Escape Artist is only 2, and Gunslinger is 4. So it's still 6 AP, which is the same it was before the update, but now you have more AP to work with compared to what you were to have now. Obviously, you would have 2 more. 6 out of the 12. I honestly, myself, might give that a try. I might give Michael Vick a try with Escape Artist and Gunslinger, because I feel like Escape Artist, even though it's not as good as it was last year, and thank God for that, because it was just ungodly good last year, it definitely provides for the attention span and the thought process of your opponent to heighten, because they have to put a spy on the field, and they have to have contains on the field every single play because you could take off at any given notice. So that's kind of the reason why I think Michael Vick is going to be most used after this update, because he's only going, if you to put the best 2 abilities on him, it's only going to cost half of your AP, and you have 6 AP to put Edge Protector on, Tight End Apprentice, Running Back Apprentice, and then maybe Identifier and one other ability as well on offense. Now, defensively, I personally don't know how this is going to change the defensive meta. I think what should have been on here, and they might add on here, is 1 step ahead. They did not address 1 step ahead. It is still going to be the same price on cornerbacks. So now you can have 4 of them on your field. Before you could only have 3, but now you can have 4 because 3 ability points times 4 1 step ahead players is 12. I think a lot of people are probably going to do that. Personally, I might try that out just for shits and giggles because I think that sounds absolutely disgustingly overpowered. But once again, I will not be surprised here in the next 24 to 48 hours before this update goes live that they change it, that it will be 4 AP instead of 3. Because I think that will definitely create the most balance. I think having it for just 3 AP will make a lot of people upset. So, that is going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you guys thought. If you have any thoughts and opinions on the changes that are being made, let me know down below in the description. I apologize for this video going pretty long in the tooth, but once again, I feel like I needed to put out a video like this just because these are huge changes coming to the game. And quite frankly, I just wanted to cover them for you guys. So that is going to do it. Hopefully you guys enjoy. We might do similar videos like this in the future where we just go ahead and we kind of talk through if they make any changes to the game and give you my thoughts and opinions and my takes on it. And we'll go from there. So that's going to do it. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully you are still tuning in to this point of the video, and if you do, you absolutely fucking rock. Until next time, I'm Sean, and we'll see you soon.